Vitamin D is being discussed everywhere. If you remember 2 or 3 years ago, maybe even longer, I started discussing vitamin D. I want to make it real clear. Your 25 vitamin D level should be close to 80. Do not pay attention to these new studies that say 30 is okay. It turns out it's just like the reverse of blood pressure, where the higher your blood pressure, the worse your risk. It turns out that the higher your vitamin D level, the lower your risk for multiple sclerosis, the lower your risk for diabetes, the lower your risk for cancer of the breast and colon, the lower your risk of heart disease. And so you have to be careful how you interpret that information. If your vitamin D level is naturally very high, that probably means you were outside a great deal. And if you were outside a great deal, you were probably at the beach and swimming or playing volleyball, or maybe you play tennis and you've been in the sun. So you've got to be careful. It's not just the vitamin D. It may be ideas that go along with it, which are not worked out into the statistical equations. But I want to tell you that vitamin D is becoming more and more recognized. I was about to say important. It's not more and more important. It's always been important. But it's now being recognized as an important risk factor. Eating red meat may raise breast cancer risk. And it turns out in another study that I have here, eating red meat for women while pregnant reduces the fertility of male offspring. In other words, if a woman is pregnant and has a baby inside, then if she eats red meat, that male is less likely to have good fertility. And let's see here. Here's some of the articles on aging, overweight, and calorie restriction. Here's another one. Calorie-restricted diet curbs normal human cardiovascular aging. That's the aging of the heart. Alternate day calorie restriction improves asthma. One of my putting it all together ideas is that virtually all the diseases that you can name have the same common risk factors, but one person develops one disorder like asthma, another one develops high blood pressure, another one develops high cholesterol, another one develops osteoporosis, and yet when you look at the common denominators in many of those conditions, it turns out to be people who smoked or drank coffee or juice or colas, people who didn't exercise, were overweight, and people who did not have an organic, unprocessed, whole foods diet at the 90% level. So that's what I want for you. I want you to have as low a percent body fat as you can where you are still healthy, and the way you define that is that's when you can see where the muscles meet the muscles on the abdomen as well as on the arm. Some people, as I said before, you can see it on the arm sooner, but better that you should see it on the abdomen. Don't waste your time with the waist-hip ratio, body mass index. Percent body fat is good because if your percent body fat is 15 to 20%, you will be able to see the lines of definition. I spoke with somebody in California yesterday who I think works what company Oprah is on. He works in the media at that, and I've been giving him some advice about his nutrition. And he told me that his scale that has electrodes in it so that he can measure his percent body fat said he was 15% body fat. Well, let me tell you, it's pretty hard to find people who are 15% body fat. That is really pretty low, and you will see lines of definition here on the arm and here on the abdomen as well. Here's the